The shocking news tonight is shaking people online. Robert Brown has died in Los Angeles. He used to be a great singer who shook the R&B world. He came from a poor area in Roxbury and became a famous musician all over the world. His life turned into a never-ending nightmare. His hits from a long time ago are still playing on the charts and are remembered by a whole generation. But behind the stage lights, he could only see the deep wounds of loss. Now, the name Bobby Brown is being talked about again, but this time it's to mourn the loss of an artist whose time on the road has ended. They're always on the beach or in the fields. They run a long way, but they always smile and are with each other. One of Bobby Brown's hopes is to get back together with his daughter Bobbi Kristina and son Bobby Brown Jr. on the Jennifer Hudson Show. Bobby Brown's son Bobby Jr. has died. He was 28 years old. Fans all over the world were shocked when they heard that Bobby Brown had died at his home in Los Angeles. The news spread quickly on social media. Brown went from living on the rough streets of Roxbury, Boston, to becoming one of the most important players in R&B. His album Don't Be Cruel, released in 1988, had hits like My Prerogative and Every Little Step. It ruled the charts and influenced a whole decade of music with its new jack swing style, which is a mix of R&B, hip-hop, and funk. His strong dance moves and daring style. With his big pants, leather jackets, and high-top fade haircut, Brown became a pop culture icon that singers like Usher, Chris Brown, and Justin Timberlake looked up to. Bobby had a certain energy that no one else could match. Rolling Stone talked to Teddy Riley. Behind the scenes, though, Brown had terrible problems. He kept getting in trouble with the law for drugs and acting badly. We used drugs together. There was no meeting anything new for her. She already knew about drugs what she knew. In 2012, his ex-wife Houston died, and in 2015, his daughter Bobbi Kristina died in eerily similar conditions. This made his pain even worse. What I did makes me feel bad. Brown said this on Red Table Talk about his son Bobby Brown Jr., who died in 2020 from an overdose. Because he was so sad, he started the Bobbi Kristina Serenity House to help people who have been abused at home and people who are struggling with addiction. At a fundraiser, he told people, "Helping other people is how I keep my daughter's spirit alive." But it turned out that the news that Brown had died was not true. Deadscan reports and Brown's own March 2025 post both showed that he was still living and well. In August of the same year, a Facebook post went viral and got almost 1 million likes. His officials quickly disproved it as well. He is still living and well. The media told a lot of people not to believe everything they see online. This wasn't the first time Brown had been tricked into thinking someone was dead. In 2010, he went on Atlanta's V103 radio to say, "I'm not dead. Twitter is real. Really bad." These rumors not only make people confused, but they also hurt Brown's family emotionally. The mass media reported that some people were angry and called it reckless. They also showed how important Brown was around the world. His name still gets people's attention after all these years. Even though the death hoax was made up, it tells everyone that Bobby Brown's life was already full of dark things that would never go away. Brown was a very talented artist, but he was also a man who was always struggling with his own pain and mistakes. The difference between his fame and his personal problems shows how complicated he was. A great start in 1978 from the poor area of Roxbury. As a teen in Boston, Bobby Brown got his start in singing when he joined the group New Edition. Along with Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, Ronnie DeVoe, and Ralph Tresvant, Brown helped make a lively R&B group that had smooth singing and choreographed dance moves that made them sound like the Jackson 5, but with a rough edge from the streets. Their acts at neighborhood talent shows got Brown's attention right away, making a name for himself with his charisma and natural confidence. After 4 years, director Maurice Starr saw how good the group was and signed them to Streetwise Records, which made them famous. Candy Girl, the first record, was a huge hit when it came out in 1983. One of the songs on the album, Candy Girl, went straight to the top of the R&B charts thanks to its catchy beat and words that were written by teens. Starr once told Billboard that song was like a call for young people to enjoy life to the best. Songs like Popcorn Love and Is This the End showed how popular New Edition was, with Brown's moving singing and electrifying dance moves taking the lead. The group's mix of young charm and tough street smarts captivated audiences, especially young fans, and made them a new culture phenomenon. Making the most of that success, two big hits, Cool It Now and Mr. Telephone Man, from their 1984 self-titled New Edition record, cemented their fame. The catchy tune and unforgettable chorus of Cool It Now made it the group's signature song. It captured the wild feelings of young love. What kids like us were feeling was written right there. Ricky Bell went back to vibe. At the same time, Mr. Telephone Man added a more soulful touch that brought out the group's vocals. Bobby Brown was the heartbeat of these shows with his powerful singing and sure of himself on stage. Not only did the record do well in the music business, it also set the standard for boy bands that came after it, influencing groups like Boyz II Men and Backstreet Boys. New Edition was the talk of the town, not just a singing group. They brought new life to R&B by mixing the best parts of old-school soul with the oomph of the 1980s. Even when there were problems inside him and the pressures of fame started to show, Brown was always at the center. He could make the stage his own world. While the attention from New Edition was a great start, Brown's desire for artistic freedom led him to seek his own road, where he was ready to face even bigger challenges. Don't Be Cruel won the solo crown. Bobby Brown was at the top of his fame with hits like Cool It Now when he made the brave choice to leave New Edition in 1986. The move shocked both fans and members of the group, but Brown did it to find his own style and artistic freedom. It was important to me to be myself, not just a part of a group Brown used to be in on The Breakfast Club. At first, Ricky Bell and the rest of New Edition were upset, but Bell later told Vibe magazine that Bobby had always had his own fire that was hard to control in a group. His first record as a solo artist, King of Stage, 1986, didn't do very well. Brown wouldn't give up, so he put all of his energy into the next project, working with producers L.A. Reid, Babyface, and Teddy Riley, who was the first person to do New Jack Swing. This led to the classic Don't Be Cruel 1988, which changed not only Brown's career but also the sound of the late 1980s. With its risky mix of R&B, hip-hop, and funk, the album's New Jack Swing sound brought a new wave of music. With strong words about freedom of choice and a proud performance style, My Prerogative quickly became an anthem and went straight to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. That music Bobby made people want to dance, want to stay alive. The singer told Rolling Stone, Don't Be Cruel topped the Billboard 200 and sold over 7 million copies in the U.S., thanks to songs like Ronnie and Every Little Step that had catchy tunes and a lot of energy. Brown's style, like his loose pants, leather coats, and the high-top fade, became recognizable and will always be a part of street style. His dance moves, like the Running Man in his music videos, changed the way R&B artists danced. Usher said on MTV that he was a success because he could sing, dance, and inspire people all at the same time. Artists like Chris Brown and Justin Timberlake looked up to Brown because of how he combined smooth singing with complicated choreography. The success of Don't Be Cruel showed that leaving the new version wasn't a risky move, but a brilliant one. Brown made a name for himself as a solo act around the world and also helped New Jack Swing become popular. But when he was at the height of his fame, the public and the business put a lot of pressure on him, pushing him to take on new challenges and start a rough new part of his life. Love is like fire, but marriage is like ashes. Bob Brown and Whitney Houston met at the Soul Train Music Awards in 1989. There were sparks between a tough R&B star and a pop diva whose voice was famously trained in church. After 3 years, they got married in a big wedding in New Jersey. They quickly became one of the most powerful couples in show business. From the first time we met, Brown chaired on the Oprah Winfrey Network. I knew she was wonderful. When their daughter Bobby Christina was born in 1993, it brugged them radiant joy and was a light that helped them get through the rough years that followed. Still, the media and bad rumors about them quickly destroyed their marriage, changing their love story into a drama-filled stage. From the beginning, tabloids never stopped writing about their romance. There were shocking news stories about Brown being seen at nightclubs or having affairs with Houston, but no real proof ever came to light. News stories about heated fights at events or in hotel rooms made it seem like the marriage was unstable. Houston told Essence that they were just trying to live their lives when the media tried to make us into a bad story. Both had problems with drug abuse. Brown was arrested many times for drug-related offenses and acting in a bad way, while Houston dealt with her own problems. They had a hard time finding peace because of their fame and the constant attention they were getting. Their relationship was on the edge between fierce love and unresolvable conflict. Bravo's reality show Being Bobby Brown, which started in 2005, showed the couple's life without any editing and caused a lot of controversy. The show showed everyday things like Bobby and Christina's silly games and their heated fights, which showed how weak their marriage was. With 11 episodes, it got millions of viewers and became a cultural phenomenon whose memorable moments have been talked about for years. But a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of fans liked how real the show was and how they could see how much Brown and Houston loved each other. Some people said it took advantage of their problems and hurt both of their reputations, especially Houston's. A reporter for Variety said that the show showed that Bobby and Whitney were real people, but it also made everything seem too much. Even though it got good numbers, Being Bobby Brown took away the couple. His privacy put them under a lot of scrutiny and made the problems in their marriage worse. In the end, Brown and Houston got a divorce in 2007, ending 15 years of troubled and stressful marriage. Not only did the breakup end a love story, but it was also a stark reminder of how fast fame and public pressure can destroy even the strongest bonds. Brown had deep mental scars from being harshly judged by the public. Now that the marriage is over, Bobby Brown's scars might finally get better. Fate hit her again with more terrible blows, though, a never-ending chain of tragedies. People all over the world were shocked when Whitney Houston died on February 11, 2012. She was found unconscious in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. She drowned and died, but heart problems and drugs also played a role. Bobby Brown's death was a terrible blow. He had been married to the famous singer for 15 troubled years. Brown said on Good Morning America, "I lost a piece of my soul." That was not the end of the horror. On January 31, 2015, their daughter Bobby Christina was found asleep in her bathtub at home. It was a sad reminder of her mother's death. Bobby Christie.